Welcome to the lounge and the US indices report, and starting with the Nasdaq here. We're looking at wave 1, wave 2 and 5 waves here for wave 3. Now we're looking for wave 4 to pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then wave 5 to the upside here. And the stocks that are driving this, of course, would be, well, there's quite a few, of course, but one of them that we've been looking at is the Alphabet Google here. And so from wave 3, ABC back for wave 4, wave 1, wave 2, and we've been, well, just roughly counting up through here, haven't we? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and looking for wave 5 to come up into wave 3 here. And then wave 4 and then wave 5. So we've still got this wave 4 and 5, no matter what degree of structure that you look at it with. And this is the same for Facebook as well. And I got this wrong a little bit yesterday, but the structure is clearer now. I can see, and I'll take you through it here, is wave 1 here, wave 2, and then 1 and 2, and then if you've got a keen eye, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and up for 5 here for wave 3 and 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing for wave 5 of 3 here. So we're looking for wave 4 and wave 5 here. So, you know, stocks, there's followers and leaders, and they all sort of move together in their own way, but not as far as the next one and all those sorts of things. So they're all at different stages, but it's quite clear in one way or another that that we have this third wave, and we're looking for a fourth and a fifth wave. The fifth wave here won't be very long at all. It will probably be 61%, 62% of roughly of the length of the third wave here, which would bring it roughly in the same, because this is the extension in wave 3, isn't it? So wave 1 and wave 5 will be roughly the same length, and in wave 1 here, if I just use the 61.8% of wave 3, which is basically the length of this one here, you know, I'm not that sort of big on spikes. So, you know, when this market came down here, I'm quite happy to use this low rather than this low, even though that this is there. I'm not blind, but, you know, I think that always we need to sort of accommodate both points here, you know, not, you know, disregarding the spike in some instances and including it in others, you know, but yeah. So this is what we'd be looking for sort of here roughly, you know. And that brings us over to the S&P and the DJ. So basically the same picture here as well. So wave 3, we're looking for wave 4 here to pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which is also roughly the 38.2 retracement level, which is standard, and also breaking trend channels as well. That's what wave 4 does, and would expect that. So I think this is just the early stages of a corrective move here. The current support on the lows here for the S&P 500 and the DJ here is roughly the 61.8% retracement level from wave 4 up here. So if I took wave 4 and wave 5 here as a 5-wave structure, then this would look as an A and a B and a C coming back into the 61.8%. So there's going to be support here, but I think that, you know, in terms of trading Elliott wave, we normally stay away from wave 4 because it gets a little bit complicated. You end up with triangles and double zigzags and all the rest of it. That said, it will probably be quite sort of simple. It might even be as simple as this ABC here, but let's just see how we go here. But when we got a level here, as you know, I know I sort of harp on about this, but basically this is the most common pattern of all, where you have the arrival, and we're talking about the 2100 here, the arrival, the reaction from that. Sellers will be sitting there, selling point here, so you trade to that number, allow the correction to unfold. First high above the level, in this case here, will be 5 waves, and then your sort of corrective pattern, whichever that's going to be, and it's good just to let it mature a little bit. And the other point too is that once the market gets back up here, or if it can get back up here, if it does, then you use this reference point here to go long on or if it does find some sort of support there and this one's good enough, well, then you can use that one to go long from at that point. But you certainly want the market back up on that level, sitting on there with nice support. And if you can have access to volume and see those sorts of things, well, then that's even better. That's the other half of the picture, the price and the volume together, and then moving up from there. So even though I've drawn this down here, and we usually expect those sorts of things, it would be this high here that would need to go long on. We'd certainly use this one in the first instance, but then we've got a better position here. So yeah, and you can get in earlier as well. You just need to be able to know where you are and know what you're doing. That's the main thing. So it's all about managing the exposure, isn't it? So anyway, that's what we're looking at here. The 15-minute chart here. I'm not quite sure on the corrective pattern that we're going to be sort of looking at here, but we should see sort of further downside coming into play here as such. But yeah, little ABC here for the A wave and the B wave here, and this is moving down quite quickly, so I could have this count wrong. So there's other possibilities for all of this, but if you're going to go trade long in this market, then finding support above this particular price point here would be a stage one. But otherwise we'll see something like this here. I'm not quite sure just how it's going to pan out. Yeah, and it doesn't really matter, but support back on 2100, that matters. Right, the DJ is much the same as well. The wave 4 that we're looking for down here as a rough target is wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. The this little move up here, the 61.8 retracement level, 50-60 is where it's finding support now. I would expect a lot more from this number. I mean, this is just very early stages of a market reacting at this number here. So this one here is going to give us grief. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see it play out in its own way. But it's a big kahuna in terms of numbers, and yeah, well, let's just see what it delivers. But it's in corrective mode, and yeah, so. Alrighty, well, that's that really. Just pretty short and simple. But once this matures, we'll get a bit of an idea of where we are with this market. Okay, cheers.